Hello guys! Today I want to talk about really cool hero in the latest patches, Lone Druid. Today, there are many interesting builds for this hero. He is quite versatile. There are split push tactics, kill-focused strategies with Shadow Blade, as well as many micro moments that are important to understand in order to win successfully with this hero. I'll start by covering all the settings, micro controls, and basic aspects, and then we'll move on to more advanced strategies. So, this video will be useful for both beginners and for guys who have already played on Druid. So enjoy watching, my friends, and thanks to everyone who likes and subscribes to the channel. I appreciate it a lot. Firstly, let's talk about the changes. Currently, our bear is a universal hero, meaning he doesn't have a primary attribute, and he gains 0.6 damage from each attribute. At the same time, our hero currently has agility as their primary attribute that makes Druid much more flexible and powerful at all stages of the game. Now, both the hero and the bear have good late-game potential, whereas previously, the bear dealt the main damage, and the hero mainly absorbed damage. Additionally, both the hero and the bear now have their own Aghanim's scepters and shards, which again allows him to scale powerfully into the late game. So, what's the essence of Lone Druid? He's a hero with a summon from the first level. With each level, the bear gains 5 damage and 90 health. The bear has a passive ability called Entangling Claws, which applies a 2.8-second root and deals 60 damage per second to the enemy. Here's how it works. We hit the enemy, immobilize them after a few attacks, and finish them off during the disable. It's all quite simple. The hero also has a passive ability that grants attack speed and armor to both the hero and the bear. But the most interesting part is that each of the bear's attacks heals the hero for 65%. This is where the strength of Druid lies. If the bear has good damage and consistently attacks the enemy, it's nearly impossible to kill our hero because he will be regaining a significant amount of health with each summons hit. Moreover, the hero and the bear deal increased damage to buildings, allowing us to quickly push enemy towers. Considering that the hero and the bear gain a lot of base damage from stats, towers literally fall in a matter of seconds. Now let's talk about the settings. Since the hero has a summon, beginners might face challenges in micro control. However, it's actually quite simple. Go to the settings and set the keys to select the main hero on F1, select all units on the button 1, and select other units on the button 2. You'll also need a button for toggling between units. By default, it's set to tab. So here's the essence of it. Most of the time, we'll be controlling the hero and the bear using button 1. We select all our units and give them commands to attack, move, and so on. During the game, we often need to switch to the bear, especially when we're assembling artifacts that require button presses, such as Phase Boots, Diffusal Blade, Abyssal Blade, and so on. To quickly select the bear, press button 2, which selects all units except the main hero. You can also toggle between units using tab, but personally, I find button 2 sufficient in about 90% of games. Initially, constantly switching between units may feel unfamiliar, but believe me, after playing around 10 games, these actions will become automatic. Practice is key. Next, let's talk about lane choice. I'll be discussing Lone Druid in the mid lane, which is currently the most effective role for him. Mid lane allows Druid to acquire enough farm, gold, and experience to quickly snowball, and his high damage output gives him an advantage over most heroes in the laning phase. However, Druid can also perform well in the safe lane. It's challenging to lose the lane due to the significant sustain provided by his massive lifesteal. If you have a strong support with disables, you can easily secure kills with the help of Entangling Claws. Also, a few words about facets. There are 2 facets. The first one adds 25% armor and allows the bear and the hero to heal each other when they attack someone. The essence is that when the hero attacks someone, they will heal the bear, which is quite nice. And personally, I prefer this one. The second facet increases the stats that the hero gets from items but reduces the maximum number of items in the inventory from 6 to 3. This aspect is designed for dealing the main damage with the hero, not the bear. Personally, I find this talent highly questionable because our hero is very easy to kill. Unlike the bear, the hero doesn't have as much movement speed, plus we can always sacrifice the bear and resummon a new one. Whereas if our hero dies, we simply go back to the tavern. Overall, I prefer the first talent for armor and healing. Now, let's talk about the item build. Since Druid is now a universal hero, his item build has become much more interesting. In the beginning, we take 5 iron branches for the hero and a quelling blade plus 4 branches for the bear. Each branch provides a universal hero with 1.8 damage, making branches the best choice for universal heroes. Next, we get phase boots for our bear. With these boots, we can farm more efficiently and harass the enemy in the lane better. If we are up against a hero that we can potentially kill in the lane, such as Exhort Invoker, SF, or Storm, I usually opt for Orb of Corrosion as the first item. Now, it provides good attack speed, armor, and slows down enemies. It's the perfect early game item for the summon. After phase boots, our first major item will be Diffusal Blade. Currently, it's one of the best items for the bear. The essence of it is that our summon gets excellent stats, damage, the ability to burn mana, and a strong disable to play aggressively and kill enemies during the slow from Diffusal. After getting Diffusal, make sure to buy Boots of Speed for our hero to increase his mobility in fights and move faster around the map. The core item for farming on Lone Druid is Mjolnir. It provides a lot of attack speed and allows you to clear creeps much faster. I get it after Diffusal Blade, because without Diffusal, our kill potential is very weak. Next on our list is the Harpoon. Harpoon provides an immense amount of stats for the bear, a total of 56 damage. Additionally, you get a double strike from the bash and an extra ability that prevents enemies from kiting you. The essence of Druid is that if the summon is attacking, it easily kills the enemy, and it's nearly impossible to kill it due to lifesteal. Also, currently, if you give Aghanim's Scepter to the bear, it becomes autonomous. This means the restriction that it can only attack near the hero disappears, and it no longer dies when the hero dies. This is an extremely powerful item because it allows us to roam the bear across the entire map to hunt for kills, while the main hero can focus on farming the jungle and not participate in fights. Therefore, items that slow down or disable the enemy are ideal choices for Druid. Also, be sure to purchase Aghanim's Shard after 15 minutes. It enhances our Savage Roar. When used, Druid, the summon, and all allies receive an additional 15% movement speed and 40 attack speed for 5 seconds. It also provides a dispel for Druid and the summon. With the Shard, it becomes challenging for enemies to focus on us because even if the main hero is debuffed with something like an urn that reduces our lifesteal, we can remove it with Savage Roar. Next, we pick up a Basher. It's an additional disable, one of the best items for Druid. In combination with Diffusal Blades, Roots, and Basher, no enemy can escape from us. In many games, after getting Basher, the matches will come to an end. However, if the game goes late, my next item choice for the bear is usually a Moon Shard. For 4,000 gold, we get 140 attack speed, making it the best item for boosting DPS. If we are playing against heroes with Ghost Scepters or Force Staffs, we can consider Nullifier. It prevents enemies from kiting our summon. In the late game, Daedalus or MKB are good choices if you feel you lack damage. I also like Scotty. It provides a universal hero with a huge amount of damage from stats and useful slowing for the enemy. There are also situations where I pick up a BKB for the summon. For example, if there are many disables against the bear, or if the enemies have gathered halberds and are preventing the bear from attacking. The essence is that if the summon isn't attacking enemies, it becomes very easy to kill our hero, since we won't be gaining lifesteal. Next, let's talk about the skill build. At level 1, we take the bear to deny and last hit creeps. After that, we max our passive and the bear. By level 8, they should both have 4 skill points invested. However, there's a small trick. Many players often leave a skill point unspent on the bear. The point is that when we skill up the ability Summon Spirit Bear, our old bear unit dies, and a new one appears in its place. The new bear has no cooldown on roots, allowing us to apply roots to an enemy twice. Additionally, all disables are removed from the new unit. For example, if Tinker casts Laser on the summon, and you upgrade that skill point, the dispel effect from Laser is removed from the summon. Next, at level 9, I take the ultimate. The essence of the ultimate is that it adds armor, a significant amount of health, and changes our attack type from range to melee. The attacks also have a chance to root enemies. However, sometimes I take the ultimate at level 6 if I see that enemy supports might gank me, and I need survivability. With the ultimate at early levels, it becomes nearly impossible to kill you. At level 10, I take the talent for plus 25 movement speed on the Spirit Bear. The faster the bear moves during fights, the harder it is for the enemy to kite it. At level 15, I choose the talent for reducing the cooldown of Savage Roar, since, with the Shard, this spell provides additional attack speed and movement speed. Using it frequently becomes a valuable buff. At level 20, both talents are good. But personally, I prefer the increased Savage Roar radius. It's a good disable that can be cast by both the hero and the bear, So with the increased radius, we can land it even more effectively. At level 25, I take the extra attack speed for the hero and the bear, as this allows us to deal even more DPS in a fight and heal more effectively. Now, on to the gameplay. In the early game, we can dominate the lane by last hitting and denying most creeps. The hero and the summon together have about 100 damage per hit, so I recommend focusing on farming. If we're playing against a melee hero, we can start harassing them from the early levels. As mentioned earlier, there's a way to apply 2 consecutive roots to the enemy, and this can be used to kill melee heroes. If we're up against a ranged hero, it's better to focus on last hitting. I also recommend carrying a teleport scroll for the bear. If the summon has low HP, it's much wiser to send it back to base to heal rather than summoning a new one, because the cooldown for summoning the bear is quite long. If you get killed without the summon, you'll be without it for almost a minute, and that's not ideal. Trust me on this. Some dedicated druid players even go to the extent of going behind the enemy tower and blocking access to creeps. This is achieved by using the hero to tank the creeps, with the hero constantly healing every time the summon attacks enemies. However, this strategy doesn't always work and can be countered by enemy supports, so let's not focus too much on this method. So, at the 5-minute mark, with a catapult, we can easily take the enemy tower. The key is not to lose the catapult, and to achieve this you can use the glyph or tank with the summon. After breaking the tower, our goal is to farm up defusal and start actively moving across the lanes. To farm more efficiently, we tank with the main hero and hit with the summon. The main hero will heal, and we won't be spending the summon's hit point. With defusal, we have significant kill potential, so farming too much on Druid is not recommended. To switch lanes, you use a teleport scroll on the hero, and then teleport the bear using its first ability, which is usually bound to the Q key. After a successful gank, proceed to break the enemy towers. The bear can capture the map early, breaking enemy towers and placing vision strategically. In team fights, it's crucial to understand the following. You have 3 buttons to disable enemies: Defusal, Savage Roar, and Harpoon. It's important not to use them all at once so that you have more options for killing enemies in fights. Always start with Harpoon. With a high probability, you use Root on the enemy and won't let them escape. Next, we use Defusal. As for Savage Roar, it's better to save it because there are often situations where the enemy throws a disable like Orchid or Urn on the main hero, and by using Roar, we dispel all disables. When you've taken down the enemy tier 2 towers, I recommend going to take Roshan. To quickly take Roshan, we tank with the main hero, and the bear heals us. We take the Aegis for ourselves because with Aegis, our summon doesn't die on the first death. After obtaining the Aegis, we push the enemy tier 3 tower. During the push, it's better to use our form in advance rather than waiting for enemies to start focusing us. If you do everything right, you can finish games by the 25-minute mark. As I mentioned, the bear pushes really quickly, and it's challenging to stop him once he gets going. Next, let's talk about counters. Heroes that can kite the bear, slow it down, and prevent it from attacking counter us. Examples include Drow Ranger and Sniper. Against them, a BKB on the bear and a nullifier can be helpful. It's also quite unpleasant to play against Wind Ranger. It will be difficult for us to focus it without a MKB. Against her, I advise you to keep your position in the fight and use your ult in advance so that she cannot quickly focus on behind the focus fire. There is also a rather unpleasant hero, Ancient Apparition. His ult does not allow the bear to heal, and the entire tank potential of the hero is lost. Against him, try to wait out his ultimate and don't be the first to enter the fight. Well, this information will be enough to start playing Druid. Remember, after playing about 10 games, controlling the bear won't seem as challenging to you. It's actually quite casual. Thanks to everyone who watched the entire video. See you.